Now we need your support again. Drugs are menacing our society. They're threatening our values and undercutting our institutions. They're killing our children. From the beginning of our administration, we've taken strong steps to do something about this horror. Tonight, I can report to you that we've made much progress. 37 federal agencies are working together in a vigorous national effort. And by next year, our spending for drug law enforcement will have more than tripled from its 1981 levels.
Yup, that was Ronald Reagan. In that speech, he talks about how he has tried his best to keep drugs out of America. To this day, you can see his efforts still in play. Although Reagan wasn't the first one to help in this war of drugs, the first one was Richard Nixon. He was the one to so-called get tough on the people that sell drugs. The Nixon administration moved the blame of losing Vietnam to the importation of drugs, but it was Reagan who revived this war against drugs. His goal was to eliminate drugs at the source, so he would order to use herbicides to destroy opium, marijuana, and cocoa crops. The focus was mostly between Peru and Colombia in the Andes Mountains. Peru and Colombia both suffered from the increasing control of drug production and trafficking, but most importantly, the guerrillas, which was a military made up of an organization, in this case the Narcos. Unfortunately, an effect called the balloon effect took place. It meant that as long as people were asking for drugs, they kept making, which made narco-terrorism harder to spot since there were so many new suppliers. The U.S. would help to stop by going to transportation hotspots like airports and docks to try to stop the exportation. Narcos kept the upper hand though, being able to buy off politicians, allowing them to do whatever they want. This back and forth war of narcos finding new places to supply and the U.S. destroying the supply has been going on for decades. But it's sad to see that the U.S. intervened in those Latin American countries and are now suffering. This has also brought the rise of immigration to the U.S. Since so many people don't want to deal with living with narcos and narco-terrorism, they saw that the U.S. would be a better place to live. In some Latin American countries, you can see some of the best paying jobs would be with the cartels, as soldiers or as moving merchandise. It has been proven that if the U.S. legalizes these drugs and sells them commercially, this could hit narcos real hard. This has been done with marijuana. The legalization of marijuana has destroyed that market for narcos, so now they focus on other drugs. Nowadays, it's become harder for narcos to keep their business in Mexico, so now they could be found more in Guatemala and Honduras more often. Since 2008, the U.S. Congress formed CARSI, or the Central American Regional Security Initiative. This program has had $800 million in funding, and it offers equipment to combat narcos, technical support, and guidance to the new people to teach them how to counter the drug trade. The future is up to the future leaders of the U.S. Either we can eliminate these cartels completely, or legalize drugs in order to destroy the market. Either way, it was going to be a long-fought war that Reagan would be proud of starting. And if you would like to learn more about narcos or narco trafficking, make sure to check out the Netflix show Narcos or the Narcos Mexico. They're both similar, just one is more specified in South America while the other one is more specified in Mexico. Hope you'll enjoy it.